What's up, Starcraft fans? Last time we did Abathur with his Brutalisks. This time we will do Alarak with his Wrathwalkers. I will be using Artificer of Souls to make them shoot faster whenever they eat the supplicants, and then we will have combat unit attack speed to make them shoot even faster. That's fleet cooldown because I will not be using Alarak himself so much because I don't want to deal too much damage. And finally, I will have 3 points on structure overcharge to just barely, almost kill the main rock and the first gas rock. The rest will be going to chrono boost efficiency. So let us go once again on missed opportunities, where we have to support stat voice harvesting bots. Thank you to Notorious Thief for supporting me in the mobilization wave tier, and Darth, Lucinous Imperius, and Shadow Archon, who are supporting me in the Pulse Cannon tier. And thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Once again, this is the Maguro map to make all the enemy compositions the same across everyone. We are once again going up against Ground Protoss Classic. And I'll actually make my first pylon right near my expansion. Right there. 14 supply, send the worker out here, and then just drop this pylon right here and start harvesting minerals so that we don't waste extra worker uptime. And then just get a bit supply blocked in the beginning because that's what current boost efficiency does. It makes you produce faster than your first pylon can get there. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I went up 16 supply because I want the extra income. I actually place gateway right here so I can provide vision of the third rock just in case I miscalculated, but I didn't. So early game, just start this gas right here. Just continuous worker production until 20 supply. I temporarily cut workers at 20 supply so that I can bank up enough money to start the Nexus on time. So I start the overcharge on this rock right away. That'll take care of that. Start harvesting the gas. And you can see I've actually paused worker production so I can, as I said, bank up these minerals to get money for my Nexus, which starts right on time. Resume worker production. Send this worker out to this area to drop a pylon down here. This pylon will attack this first geyser as well as the first attack wave. Next point will be to start the cybernetics core so I can tech up to Wrathwalkers, obviously. Still want to tech up relatively fast. Second gas is started after the cyber core. And continuous worker production. So you can see my second charge of overcharge is ready. I don't use it on the expansion. Instead, I use it on this attack wave. As the Zealots come in, it will be against Ground Protoss with High Templar and Colossus. I have a probe incoming to give vision, as well as drop this robo right here. Similar to what I did in the Carax video, I actually had a robo out here in the front to make them right closest to the battle. As close to the battle as I can get. Also, I use this probe to get the overcharge, or rather, bait enemies into the overcharge. I use Alarak right here to break the second gas rock at the expansion. Use Deadly Charge to get over the cliff so I don't have to go around. Attack the rock vigorously. Alarak rock slapping. That's his job now. He's the high rock slapper. It's a really good thing that Protoss use psionic blades. If they used metal, they would probably get really dull attacking the rocks. You know what would be a good concept for maps? Is to have different hardness of rocks. You can have maybe, I don't know, 100 health sandstone rocks, or the regular rocks with 2,000 health. We can have really hard granite rocks that have 5,000 health. And then diamond rocks, which are not minerals for some reason, have like 100,000 health. Something crazy like that. So you can see I'm just throwing these guys away. And as soon as my Robo Bay completes right here, I start my Wrathwalker. I also have a second Robo over here. So my timing was, as soon as the Robo complete, I start the Robo Bay in my base. And at the same time, start my second Robo facility out on the map so that I can rally my Wrathwalkers faster. This upgrade that makes the Colossus shoot faster is first because all the enemies in the upcoming wave are ground-based, so I don't need to shoot up yet. Although I will get that upgrade right after the Fasty Shooty upgrade. So the way I attack here is I have these supplicants just attack moving in front, and I have the Wrathwalkers in a separate control group microing them back, making sure that as much as possible only the supplicants will take damage. Walk down here. I try to move them in one by one since these are lightly defended. I actually want to sacrifice supplicants because the way this prestige works is whenever a supplicant dies, it will make a Wrathwalker or a mechanical unit shoot faster. So you can see this one has 2 buffs. You can actually see it on the far right center of the command card. It has 2 charges, so it shoots 20% faster or something like that. Start more facilities here, gateway, to allow me to make more supplicants since I will be mineral heavy on my income. Let my dudes go here. He said I'm just gently microing my Wrathwalkers back. That one took damage unnecessarily. And I don't quite have enough supplicants at this point, so I kinda need to use Alarak to just use the distraction wave on these gateway units whenever they overrun my supplicants. You see, just tanking that damage, just keeping them away. This guy has 1 charge. This again, I was 9 charges. That's a lot. It's unfortunately the low health one, but it has 9 charges, so it's going to shoot really fast. You can see it already has 27 kills, which is insane. Deleting this last one. Add another pylon down here. Distraction wave these guys. Just keep throwing these guys out to make them not hurt my Wrathwalkers. I'm gonna clean out this little camp here to make them not bother my forces later on. Build a pylon over here as a spotter, also to soak up damage. So just constantly making Wrathwalkers, pylons, and supplicants. I will get a forge at some point. Yeah, I got a micro back against that High Templar. That will probably just storm all my Colossus. I mean, it will. So, forge is on the way. And Twilight. So I can get more upgrades. Probably made the Twilight a little too early, to be honest, but I'm going to be supply blocked anyway. So I might as well start the Twilight. Use the Death Fleet here to help burst down the bonus area and to soak up damage. But, that being said, my Wrathwalkers do deal a lot of damage fast, and they will actually delete this thing really quickly. I group up my dudes here and have Alarak separately out in front, so my mothership can just teleport all the way out front, so that my army doesn't need to walk all the way around this area. It just goes straight to the front via teleport. The cloaking upgrade for my havocs will be on the way. It is on the way already, in fact, as alongside +1. I'll make 4 havocs here just to help my Wrathwalkers gain that extra range. The nice thing about Wrathwalkers is that they can shoot while moving, so I can just micro them back. You can see I have my entire army minus Alarak on one control group, so I don't have to. So I must not F2, and a separate control group with just Wrathwalkers and havocs, so I can use them to kite the enemy, like so. You can see the supplicants are moving forward, but the Wrathwalkers are moving back, and they can still shoot. And they can actually outrange the enemies. Not just because they have like 13 initial starting range, but they also have +2 range from the havocs, which is great. You can see my Wrathwalkers just gently microing away. Meanwhile, the more supplicants my enemy kills, the stronger my Wrathwalkers get, because they do get the buff. This guy now has 7 charges. This guy has a single charge. This guy has 3 charges. This guy's 10. So it gets you really fast. Send my supplicants in to aggro the enemy. Meanwhile, my Wrathwalkers just stay behind and not get shot. Another attack wave here. You can just see the micro and concept is simple. It's not difficult to understand. The difficult part is the execution, because you need to have all these separate control groups for your Wrathwalkers. Sending my guys in front. You can see I have the supplicants tanking damage. This guy almost dies. This has 18 health. Don't want to lose that guy, because the total investment in that guy is not just the 300 minerals and 200 gas, but also the 150 by 5 is 750 minerals. No, it's actually 75 by 5. So it's actually 375 minerals sunk into supplicants used to make the Wrathwalker shoot faster. It's more like 675 minerals. And they have Terrazine. Wrathwalkers just parking here. Meanwhile, my supplicants will bait these enemies into my Wrathwalkers, and they just get firing squatted. You can see these havocs extending the range of my units, making them shoot further. I'm actually gonna make a little concave over here so that more of my Wrathwalkers will be able to shoot at the same time. I use a Death Fleet to delete this wave and soak up damage. You can see this mothership soaked up about 500 damage. I'm grateful that the mothership is able to soak up that much. They shot little itself, 3 damage, or rather 3 kills. This guy has 1 kill. It's not a big deal. I actually made a war prison by mistake, so I just make that not a thing. Fly that into here. Won't count. I teleport to this area. March my supplicants forward. And give this guy his 10th charge. This guy's 5. This guy is yet to get any. This one is 2. So it just keeps shooting faster and faster. It just shoots really fast. So now it's the part of the game where I have to split my forces to respond to multiple attacks. Because unlike Kerrigan, Alarak does not have Omega Worm, so I'll have to split my forces so that I'll be able to respond to more attacks. You can see I've made a separate control group here of 10 Wrathwalkers, and they'll be stationed in this area. Actually more like here on this ramp, to respond to the northeast and the southwest attacks. Meanwhile, this control group, which will be set later, will respond to the northwest and the north center attack points. You can see I'm manually attacking my supplicants to increase the charges on my supplicants. I'm floating money, so I might as well cycle through my units, and I'm maxed out as well. Now I'm setting this group in this area. You can see it's a lot of Zealots. I'm actually going to use these havocs to use force fields on my supplicants, or rather on the enemies, so that they don't get a quick surround of my forces. And that worked wonderfully. Getting the last upgrade for the havocs. You can see another attack wave coming over here. They will actually delete this gateway, which is fine. That is there to tank and soak up damage. Drop some more force fields to force the enemy to derp around behind and delete those Stingus. Reposition my Wrathwalkers actually around here. Attack wave heading over there. You can see it's split up, so I'll have to use this force to defend this area and warp in some supplicants here to soak up damage. I'm actually almost gonna lose this Wrathwalker. Meanwhile, my Wrathwalkers on this side have made it to the fight. Gently micro back so that I don't lose stuff. You see, I have two separate control groups of Wrathwalkers. These are separate, different control groups even. To make sure that I can fight at two fronts at once. Of course, disclaimer is that I am playing on slower speed so I can actually micro this well. I cannot micro this well normally. Part of the reason is because I don't even get to play Starcraft that often anymore. But this is not a showcase of my own skills, this is a showcase of what the commander can do, which is my reason, my justification for playing a slower speed. It's not meant to show off how great I am, it's meant to show off what this commander can do. Theoretically, if you micro this fast. Or this well at least. Pro gamers probably can micro this well. I gotta group up my army here now. I will take out the bonus. Sending these two Wrathwalkers to the back. This one has 5 charges, this one has 1 charge, so it's not that big of a deal to put them behind. The ones I want in front are the ones with lots of charges. Bait this guy in. You can see the kiting is extremely effective. That big fat hybrid got 1 shot in before dying. Drop the Death Fleet here. I have my 4 havocs in front here, and I focus down that big hybrid so I can also focus down the bonus and get the XP. And also the points for Alarak and his Wrathwalkers. Micro back my hurt Wrathwalkers and push forward with the rest. Now starting +1 shields because I've made a second forge here. Probably should have made that one a bit earlier, to be honest, but better late than never, I guess. I'm intentionally keeping spare supply here in case I need to warp in supplicants to a front, but you can see a lot of my Wrathwalkers now have really glowy chassis. This one has 10, 5, 4 buffs, 9 stacks, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, 10 stacks. These guys shoot really fast. These guys 146 kills. That's an insane number of kills. 71, 9, 27, 39, 7. These guys are actually crazy. 45, 44, 45, 39. My goodness. Time to split my Wrathwalker groups again to make sure that I can respond to separate attack waves. This guy has 146. I'm going to keep watching this guy, this yellow guy with 146 kills. See how many this guy can get in the end. You can see I'm once again putting down gateways here. I could have put down cybernetics, of course, but those will just be strictly tanks. If I make them gateways instead, they will function as tanks as well as production structures in case I need to warp in more supplicants. So the choice has been made. Right here, send my supplicants forward, let them tank the damage. Meanwhile, my Wrathwalkers just shoot from really far away and now run to the other side to respond to this attack wave. Aggro these guys. The supplicants don't just fight straight up at this time. They shoot once at the enemy. Oh, I lost the Wrathwalker. That's most unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. Oh well. But yeah, the rule of the supplicants is to shoot once at the enemy and get them to walk to my Wrathwalkers. While my Wrathwalkers are out of position, at least. Once my Wrathwalkers are in position, they can just attack move. See, now these Wrathwalkers are shooting while the supplicants are choking up the middle alleyways that I made here using my gateways. That is intentional. I want the supplicants to be able to clog up these lanes to waste even more damage potential from the enemy. Attack wave here. I send the supplicants forward. Just keep the supplicants in front. Meanwhile, everything else keeps shooting. I heard you guys say last time that you actually wanted me to kill the observers as well, even though it's not required in solo runs to count as full clears. So now you see me doing it.
My bots are heading back to base. Be careful, commanders.
The havocs are great at providing detection. Down goes another observer.
These guys are smashing my bots to pieces.
Just keep those guys away from my shooty guys. By the way, the champ Wrathwalker now has 151 kills. That's a lot. Next attack wave is going to come through here. Slightly out of position, because I thought that the next one is the 2803. Turns out there was another one over here. Big attack wave, so I have to get a big concave. Send supplicants to soak up the damage, to soak up the aggro. Meanwhile, my Wrathwalkers just keep raining fire on their faces. Now, the champ has 153 kills. This guy on his own is 153. That's insane. You can see these gateways doing a splendid job of soaking up damage until my Wrathwalker army gets here. Big storm by that High Templar almost killed my havocs, but that is not to be the case. And this Wrathwalker will end up, this champ Wrathwalker, will end up with 154 kills. What a monster. Meanwhile, these two are shooting at these rocks to make them not a thing, and to increase the damage ratio of my Wrathwalkers. Where's this yellow guy? Yeah, the 154 guy is leading the charge. And he will, I think, just barely not get into the shot. Oh no, he actually will. Yeah, he does actually get into the shot. No, yeah, he's just barely in there. The champion with 154 kills does end up being in the front. So now let's see. It's time to see how well they rack up the stats compared to the other big boys. Let me pull up the Excel. Okay. Damage is 88.6%. That's actually a lot. I was actually not expecting that high. 88.6% is pretty high. That's the third most of everyone so far. Only beat out by Vorzu with cheats, by including all the damage from the microtroids, and Abathur with the ultimate evolutions. By the way, for those who didn't notice, I did actually add the damage from the Banelings. If you go back to that video, add the damage of the Banelings to the aberrations, and you'll get this number. So they also, Amon that is, was also able to get 83 damage on the bots. But that is full map clear and all bots are saved. And now we come to the other score screen with the Magur overlay. We can see that kills wise, they had 92%. That's a lot. 92% is a lot. Yeah, you can see that's the second highest. That's the second highest, behind only cheating Vorzun. I'm not gonna stop saying that, by the way. Survival, I made 22, I lost 1. Unfortunate, but I think I'll keep it that way just to highlight how much easier it is for Karax and Abathur to keep their big boys alive. Karax with the Unity Barrier and their Repair Beam keep his stuff alive. Meanwhile, Abathur has Mend, Queens, and of course Disabling Cloud. So that's 21 out of 22 that survived. 95.5%. Respectable. Now, as for the total, he has 9.21%. He's gonna need a lot of help from you guys. If you want Alarak's Wrathwalkers to overtake Abathur's ultimate evolutions, have a very high approval rate. That's 89%. I think he'll need something like 95%. Just, yeah. Yeah, so he'll need every single bit of help. 94% of you guys voting yes on Alarak's Wrathwalkers will just barely get him over Abathur's ultimate evolutions, specifically the Brutalisk, as the best big boy so far. So a poll will go up tomorrow. Make sure you guys vote on that one to get Alarak over Abathur, if that's what you want at least. If not, you can just vote however you want. Next one, we will have Stukov. Obviously, there's the Apocalypse, but did you guys know that infested bunkers are also massive units when they are unsieged? So, I think I will count the bunkers themselves, and also the troopers inside for that. Stay tuned for next week. I'll see you guys then.